Hey yo, what is up everybody, Noah here, and welcome back to another episode of the Nerd Topics. Today is not a story time. Today we are actually going to be talking about something different. So I watched a video a little while back, and it was from a dude named Optimus. Maybe you guys heard of him. He's like along the lines of Scrubby, Cyrus and stuff like that, and they do like reaction videos and like just stuff they find. And I saw this one and I just had to give my 2 cents on this because honestly this is really dumb to me. It's like really stupid, and this is about contracts for boyfriends, like girls having contracts for boyfriends. And so if I get the screenshots put up in the video, they are from Optimus videos. I'm not necessarily trying to steal his content. I just wanted to give my 2 cents on this. So I'm sorry, Optimus, I did steal these screenshots from your video because I didn't know where else to look for them. So I just grabbed them real fast. So if I put them in the video, you'll see them. But if I don't, I'll put the link to his video so you guys can watch his video and see that and see the contracts if I don't put them here. And also just because I like his videos. His videos are good, so go check him out. Anyways, let's roll the intro and hop right into this one. So first off I gotta say, if a girl came up to me and tried to give me a contract, I would just be like, oh no, I am not doing a contract to be in a relationship with you. I'm sorry, but I am just not going to stoop so low as to have a contract relationship. I mean, that's kind of ridiculous in a way, like to have an actual contract, like especially like how ridiculous these ones are. And I mean, sadly though, at one point I might have fallen for it. I might have done it just to have a relationship, but like nowadays it's like, no. But let's hop into this thing. So, first off, it says, you are not to have a single girl's phone number. And in a way, I can understand that one, okay? I can understand why you wouldn't want him to have another girl's number, but also, like, you know, he's gonna have another girl's number. It's not because he's trying to cheat on you, especially if he's loyal. Like, I mean, he's gonna have other friends, though, sometimes, and sometimes guys can have girlfriends. You know, like they can have girls that are friends, and like, so just, why get on to him about it? If you're so insecure about that, why, I don't know, like bring it up or something and ask maybe why, you know, but also that shows a very big lack of trust, and therefore like just, it's not going to work out. It's not going to work out in my opinion, like at all, just because you are so insecure about that. That's something you have to get over as the girl yourself. You are not to follow them on any social media, including Instagram, Snapchat, and Twitter. Again, another one that's somewhat understandable, but again, like, they have other friends maybe. And I'm not saying, like, this in a bad way, but I'm saying it's ridiculous. It's one thing if the dude is out there trying to look, you know, be thirsty and going for other girls and stuff, then he's being unfaithful, and I get that. And if that happened to you, I'm sorry. It happened to me with my girlfriend, and I get it. It sucks. But, I mean, you know, like, what you gonna do? You know, like, you just gotta let them do them. It takes trust, and guess what? Trust is kind of a 50-50 shot sometimes. So you never know until you catch it, and so you have to keep an eye out. But that's why you have to build trust up with each other and everything getting into the relationship, because that's just kind of honestly ridiculous to me. Like, I have girls that I'm friends with and everything, and I know how I've talked about in videos, like I'm terrified and all that, and I have trouble talking to them, but the ones that I'm just like friends with and really good friends with, they're easy to talk to because we're just friends, and therefore it's easy to talk to them, and we just like to talk sometimes. And, you know, I have a few, like I have 4 or 5 different ones that I just talk to, because we're just friends, and therefore it's just easy to talk to, and like we're in group chats and stuff with different people, and we just talk and stuff like that. So again, like I don't really get this one. Anyway, let's move on. You are not to hang out with Keegan, including his house or anywhere in public. And I'm like, just like looking at this, and I'm like, what the hell do you mean? Like, if that's like the dude's best friend, like I sure as hell wouldn't let like a contract or something like that keep me from hanging with my best friend. You have to have boundaries, yes, and as the dude, you do have to have the sense to be able just to spend time with your girlfriend and not worry about hanging out with your friends so much, because you're in a committed relationship, therefore you're going to spend time with each other. That is the number one rule, because whenever you're in that relationship and when you're married, no one else matters as much as your significant other. That's how it's supposed to be. But that doesn't mean you can't still hang out with your best friends and stuff. So, like, that's just stupid to me. Like, honestly, that's pretty selfish of the girl to have that in there. Yet she can probably go hang out with her girls and all that. Like, did the boy make another contract to go back to her? Because if he did, I kind of want to see that. Anyways, you are not to go to Honda without me. Vroom vroom. And honestly, with this one, I don't really know. Like, just don't go to Honda, I guess. A car dealership. I don't really know why that one's there. That one just seems really random to me. You are not to hang out with your friends more than 2 times a week. Again, another one that doesn't make total sense because honestly, it just comes down again to common sense. If you're the dude and you're in the relationship and if you're happy, you're going to know the amount of time you're going to spend with your friends and you're going to make it pretty, short. Like I'm not saying you're going to necessarily avoid them or something, but you are going to cut down because you're going to want to be with your girl. And so that's natural to do. And it's good to do that because you want to spend time with them, get to know them. And when you're married and stuff, like I said, they're your number one. They're the most important in your relationship. Some people say like the kids are the most important part. No, your marriage is the most important relationship you have whenever you're married, because when your kids leave and everything, you're stuck with each other. So you have to be used to each other. But again, like, you're going to want to hang out with your friends and stuff. And, sometimes it may be 2 times a week. It may be 3 times a week. But for her to come in and say it can only be 2 times a week is very controlling, very abusive, very dumb. You're not to look at a single girl. Okay, let's talk about this one. This one is really dumb. Like, what the hell do you mean? Again, common sense. If you're with the girl and stuff, you're going to stay faithful. But guess what? That's not going to stop a guy sometimes from looking. They're going to do that. But also, like, what the hell do you want him to do? Walk around and gouge his eyes out so he can't look at anyone ever again and just be blind? Then he doesn't even have eyes for you. So, I mean, what the hell are you thinking with this one? And look, I've seen it happen in a million relationships where they're happy to be together and stuff, but sometimes they look at another girl or another dude and they're like, damn, that's normal. It's not necessarily a bad thing. I'm not saying it's necessarily a good thing either, but I mean, it happens. But as long as you're committed to each other, that's what matters the most, because you know that it's not about the looks. It's about what you feel inside, about the connection that you have with your hearts and your souls. That's what matters here. If girls come up to you at any place or any time, you are to walk away. Again, another common sense one. But again, what if it's one of his other friends that happens to be a girl and they run into each other or something like that and she walks up to him and says hi? What the hell are you going to do about that? You literally can't do anything about that. You cannot control this man's relationships. And that's something that we got to learn in today's stuff, is you can't control people's relationships. It's so dumb and stupid. And I just don't understand it. They're going to have friends. Let them have friends. That's like him saying you can't hang out with your friends who are guys, or you can't hang out with your friends who are girls even too. Honestly, if that shit was thrown at me, I would throw it right back, honestly. Sorry, I just smacked my mic. But I would throw it right back in their face, because I'm not dealing with that. And some people are going to think I'm going to sound stupid or whatever, but I mean, yeah, it's a friendship. What the hell are you going to do? It's a friendship, for crying out loud. Mo is to not hang out with us every time we hang out. Okay, this one I can understand. If you have someone that's hanging out with you every time you're hanging out together, I get it. I get that one. But again, just in the form of it being a contract, it's really dumb. That's more something you should sit down with your partner and be like, look, I just don't want to hang out with this person every time we're hanging out, because when I'm hanging out with you, I'm trying to spend time with you, because I want to be with you, not them. And that can be an issue, and so that's a good issue to bring up, but not to put in a contract. What the man? You are not to ask for head. Naughty. Aight then, so he's not allowed to ask for head. Well, you're not allowed to ask for this D, no matter what anymore. So, yeah, moving on. You're not to get mad about me about a single thing ever again. Okay, yes, real mature, because no matter what you do, I'm just going to sit here and bottle it all up. Bottle up all the frustration that I have towards you if you do something that frustrates me, so that way, whenever it bottles up and bottles up and bottles up and bottles up, one day it'll just explode in unyielding rage. So apparently you just want this man to become a domestic abuser, because if he bottles that up, guess what? One day it's gonna come out. And I'm not trying to say the dude's a domestic abuser. I'm saying when you bottle that stuff up like that, that's what it can turn into. It can be a real issue, because he won't have an outlet. He won't be able to get his frustrations out. And I'm not saying to take him out on her. I'm saying if an argument happens, what the hell do you expect him to do? You're going to be in an argument, and in relationships, you got to work on to not be so mad at each other. But guess what? You're going to fight. You're going to be mad at each other. You're going to argue. But if you just bottle that up and not get at least any of it out, that's not good for you. Some of it's going to come out. It's got to come out, so that way you're not so frustrated anymore. But if you just build and build and build and build it up, guess what? It's not going to end so well for you in the end. So, yeah. You're not to bring up Tyler, Noah, aka me, but it's not really me, it's another Noah, Devin or Josh ever again. Ew, like, what's wrong with bringing up the boys? Like, they're the boys. Like, what? Did he bring up how he just kisses them to sleep every night? Like, I mean, come on, that's just the boys. That's what we do. You know, I'm just saying, like, we ain't gay. Sometimes you gotta kiss the homies goodnight, man. You know what I'm saying? You are not allowed to drink unless I am with you. Okay, so he cannot drink unless you're with them. That is kind of, like, you know, like, let the man do what he wants to do. If he wants to go get some drinks or something, that's fine. I mean, does he have, like, an alcohol problem? If he does, that's one thing, but does he have an alcohol problem, or is he just sometimes going out getting, you know, a little buzzed, or maybe sometimes a little hammered, but, you know, like, usually just on, like, a weekend or something? Let the man do what he wants to do. What the hell? Like, he has his life, has hobbies, he has the things he likes to do on his own, and maybe sometimes that's going out with the boys and getting a drink, or just going and getting a drink. What's so wrong with that? Like, I mean, for real. I am allowed to do a phone check whenever I please. XXX, XXX, XXXXX. And again, another stupid, like, it's the dude's phone. And look, I understand why people want to do phone checks today. And honestly, I mean, it's a problem. Today in society, all I see around is people being unfaithful, like, bastards. Yes, I get it. But also, gotta realize that love still exists and that it takes trust, and going through their phones and stuff every time, whenever you feel like it, is not a thing that's going to help. I get it why you want to, but at the same time, you have to have trust, and you know what having trust means? It means not going through their phone. Unless you have, like, actual evidence, or you have, like, just the biggest suspicion ever. But even then, that shows how insecure you are. So therefore, you shouldn't do that. Whenever I was in my relationship, dude, I wanted to check my girl's phone, but I didn't. But it showed how insecure I was. And part of the reason was because, yes, she was on her phone all day long. Like, literally wouldn't get off it. Even when we would walk together and stuff, we couldn't even really hold hands because she would be texting away. Sitting here trying to watch a movie. Couldn't do that because she's on the phone. So I get it. And yeah, she was texting dudes. She was texting dudes, flirting with them that were way older than her. She was texting her ex again, and that's the one who came and picked her up and took her back. So I get it. But I mean, also, you gotta have the trust. You gotta have the trust. You gotta get over that to have the trust and everything, because that's what matters most. Yes, it's a gamble. Relationships are a gamble in the end, but I mean, that's just what you gotta do. If we move in, there are to never, ever be girls at our house. No. Okay, so yeah, so guess what? That means that you can't even have your girls over anymore. Your girlfriends are not allowed to come to the house at all. No girls, so that means even you gotta leave. Sorry, it's just the dude's house now. You gotta leave now, sorry. You made it clear in the contract, no girls at the house, therefore even you have to leave. Unless you're like some kind of weird alien, I don't know. Because that's maybe what's going on here. If I catch you around girls, I kill you. Okay, now we got something interesting. So now she's making threats to this man. Making threats of, I will kill you if I see you with another girl at all. I will kill you. And again, I get it why you don't necessarily want to see him around other girls. But at the same time, again, the hell you gonna do if he's just hanging out with a girl? Like, I'm not saying, like, he's not going to just go cheat on you unless that's his intention. But you should be able to pick up if it's his intention. And a lot of times you'll pick it up in how they act when they're around you. Like if the dude is constantly just playing games all day long or something, instead of trying to spend time with you, or he's just ignoring you and stuff like that on purpose and all this, and like just really frustrated with you when he's around you, or just doesn't seem very happy, then yeah, you got a problem. But guess what? Making a threat like this isn't going to make this dude very happy. So yeah, what the f***? You are not to ditch me for your friends. Okay, yeah, again, another one that I understand, and again, common sense. If you're in the relationship and you're truly happy, you're not going to ditch your girl just to go to your friends. You're going to talk about it, you're going to be like, hey babe, I'm gonna go hang out with the boys for a bit. And if she's understanding and cool, and actually normal, she'll be like, yeah, that's cool, alright, have fun, alright, yeah, I love you, blah, blah, blah. But no, in this situation, you are not to ditch me for your friends, so I'm guessing you get ditched a lot because of your controlling attitude, because of your abusive nature already that we're seeing in this. So you probably deserve it, and I'm just saying, I'm not trying to be rude, but you do. I'm saying, like, attitudes like this will lead to that. How you treat others is how they will treat you, and treating them like this and having these contracts and stuff does not bode well for you in the end. Austin does not control when I hang out with you. Okay, Austin, who's Austin? I don't really know, I don't really care, but again, another one that makes sense in a way. It's probably one of the dude's friends, and you know, I get that. I kind of dealt with the same situation. Sometimes you'll have friends that will try and force you to know when to hang out with your girl or when to hang out with them and stuff. And it's annoying, and I get it to an extent. But the one thing you have to understand is that, again, when you're in the relationship, you're going to spend time with each other. They are your number one. That even means above the homies sometimes. Like, they're your number one. Therefore, you're going to make the most time for them. You still have to make time for everybody else. You know, if you want to hang out with your friends stuff, that's not a bad thing. But you can't let anyone control that. So I can kind of agree with that. But again, in a contract form, that's something that should be talked about and discussed calmly, not, you know, in this contract form of already much abuse and everything. And we're almost done, but there's still a few more points, so let's keep going. We are to go on a legit date once every 2 weeks at least. Again, another thing that makes sense, you know, you want to go on dates and stuff. I want to go on dates, but guess what? Money is involved in stuff and everything, and so it kind of depends on that. That's like one of the biggest factors, and depending on what you're working or where you're working and all that, that kind of affects when you're going to go on dates, and plus you just got to make the time for it. And you know, as long as like you both truly care and everything, and if he truly cares, he'll make the time to take you on a date. But you can't, again, just like be like, we're doing this every 2 weeks. Like, I mean, that's kind of dumb to me. Like, he'll make the time for you to make it more special. I think that's what makes him special, is the fact that the dude is willing to take the time out and surprise you with a date, or just come up to you and be like, guess what, we're going on a date night. So, I mean, you know. If I say jump, you say how high, princess. Oh, yes, this one. Another one that shows just how abusive this chick is. If I say jump, you say how high, princess. That is really stupid to me. Guess what? In a relationship, it's not about control. You don't control the person. You don't control each other. You submit to each other, yes. You submit to each other, but you work together. That's what a relationship is. This right here is just being a tyrant, and it's honestly annoying to see. Like, what the fuck is your problem? That is really, like, that is a lot of abuse right there in one little sentence. That shows how abusive this chick really is, and it's really stupid to me. You do not do that. It is about submitting to each other and being able to work together. I do believe that the man is the house, that the man is the man of the house, but you also got to submit to your wife still. You have to submit to each other. You have to work together. You have to become one. That's what a relationship is. It's becoming one. And being a Christian like I am, it's about representing the love of Christ for us. And that's how you're supposed to love your wife and love your husband. So seeing this right here, honestly, really is so dumb, and it really like kind of hurts me, because like, what the hell? And I'm not trying to be mean. And I know like being a Christian, people are like, well, why are you talking so bad about her? I'm just like, it's annoying to see this, and I'm not trying to necessarily talk so bad, but I'm just giving my 2 cents on this. I'm not perfect, and I just really wanted to say something on this stuff. But anyways, there's 2 more points on this one, so let's go ahead. You are to make sure you tell me you love me once a day at least, so I know you're not messing around. Yeah, guess what? Just because they say they love you, doesn't mean they love you. You can't know that from just that. It's not the words that count. Words mean a lot in the end, but above all, it's about actions. It's about what you do. I mean, whenever I was in my relationship, I had to break my back backwards to try and prove how much I cared about her, how much I wanted the relationship to last, and it wasn't enough for her. So even then, sometimes actions and stuff aren't enough, but it just depends on the person. But whenever it is enough, you won't have to work so hard, because guess what? It will be there. You will know it's there. You'll feel it. You will feel that it's there. You'll know it's there. You'll know it's true, because it will be shown on both sides. But this shows, again, controlling, abusive, and not true and not real. And lastly, you are to never take longer than 10 minutes to text me back. God forbid this dude like falls asleep, right? He falls asleep and forgets to text back. Maybe like his phone's on vibrate so he doesn't get the text, and then he wakes up a few hours later and his phone's being blown up by her or something like that. God forbid this dude is working or something at his job and he can't have his phone, or he's in the middle of something really important and it takes him like 12 minutes to text back. Then all of a sudden all hell breaks loose. That's how dumb this shit is to me. And that's just one contract. We have another one to look at, and it's kind of a shorter one. This is honestly how stupid it is. And I went over every point because every point to me has something to be discussed. Anyways, let's go grab the other contract and look at how dumb this one is. Okay, so this one I definitely have some like personal beef with because of me being a gamer as well. And this one, it says rules for your new gift. And he has received a gift of World War II. If I put the contract up, I will hide the girl's face because I won't show that. But it says, so number 1, if I call you, you must pause the game and talk to me with full attention. Okay, let's start off. 1, I get it. I get why you want the full attention, and in a relationship like that, you should give your full attention, depending. Well, not depending, you should give your full attention. I don't know why I said depending. Anyways, yes, but that's, again, common sense. If you really love the person and stuff, you will give your attention when it's needed. But also, for the girl, you gotta understand, if he's playing that, he's most likely playing online, and it's an online game, and so he's going to kind of be focused on that, too, at the same time, because he can't necessarily just pause or quit. It's an online community with other people, and he's building bonds with other people if he's talking to people or playing with his friends. So you can't really control that aspect. Anyway, so, no starting another match if we are planning to hang out or I ask to hang out. Okay, so again, another one that makes somewhat sense, but also here's the deal with this one. So, like, are we talking like, if you plan to hang out and like you're on the way to the house, he can play another match. And if he's finishing it up as you come in the door, it's not a big deal. But like, what the fuck, like, no, apparently, like, if he's, like, right about to finish the match and you walk in and he's on that match, are you just gonna flip your shit and go all the fuck off on him? I feel like you would, and honestly, you shouldn't do that. Like, what the hell is your problem there? Another thing, though, here is that, listen, ladies, please listen. Whenever a dude is gaming, and he's with you and he's gaming, there are some times whenever, yes, it's because he may not be happy with the relationship or he's annoyed or frustrated. But you'll know it because, like, he will deliberately do it to annoy you or something, to get to you. But in reality, whenever we're playing games and stuff in front of you, it's because we want you to be interested in what we're doing. And whenever you don't show that interest, it hurts. So we just do it anyways because we just say, fuck it, this is what I'm going to do for my enjoyment. Like, you know, we're going to take our time to watch movies with you or to go shopping with you and stuff like that and everything and do the things you love and try to do that. And so we just want some of that back to be able to enjoy what we enjoy and have you enjoy it with us. And sometimes that's just like playing some games and having you guys cheer us on as we play the games because we feel good. We're trying to impress you with it. It may not be like the super manliest thing of things to do for some, but I mean, like, that's why we do it. To be like, wow, look at him go. Like, he's doing what he loves. It's a passion. It's a hobby. It's a lifestyle. You know, and that's what I wish, like, some people would understand, and that's why I get so frustrated about it sometimes, but anyways, I digress. Let's move on. And point 3 kind of goes into what I just said, so, you must ask if it is okay for you to play while I am over at your house with you. Make sure I have something to do while you are in battle. Okay, look, again, common sense. If your girl's there and, like, if she's into it, like I said, whenever we're trying to impress you and stuff, it's one thing. And that there is shows true love because then she, like, knows that you're doing this because you love it and she loves watching you do it because it somehow impresses her or something, or she just likes to see you happy. And that's what matters, right? To see each other happy. And sometimes you're going to do what it takes to do. Even though you may not personally enjoy it, as long as the other person happy, that's what matters here. You want to make the other person happy, and so sometimes you're going to sacrifice certain things to do that. It's not because they're trying to avoid you. Again, it's because they're trying to impress you. Yes, the guy should make sure sometimes if it's cool to play with them. Like when I was in my relationship, I'd be like, hey babes, I'm gonna go play with the boys. They're hitting me up right now. She'd be like, okay, have fun. I'd be like, alright, bet. And even though things went south between us in the end, she did stick by my side when I was gaming, and she would watch me sometimes and like talk with me and we'd talk about it, you know, and she'd be like, wow, get him babe and stuff like that. That's what we look for. That's what we look for is whenever you're with us. And so you should make it clear, but at the same time, if it's a normal thing, let it be a normal thing. Like, do it in portions though. Do it the right way, guys. But ladies, don't do this bull of a contract, you know? Anyways, let's move on with this one. You must reply to a text no longer than 11 minutes. Well, at least this dude gets a 1 minute longer than the other dude. But I mean, again, God forbid he misses it by a minute. Like, it's gonna all hell breaks loose at that point. Like, my question is, what happens if the dude, like, texts you back in time, but then you don't text him back for like 12 minutes? Does he have the chance then to flip his shit too? Because honestly, I would set a timer myself. I would watch, and if you missed me by a minute, I would flip my shit. I'd be like, I may have not given you a contract, but what the hell? Doesn't this apply to both of us at this point? But, you know, that's just stupid. And, here we go, the last one. Do not forget to give me just as much attention. Again, common sense. If you're in the relationship and it's serious and you really care about the person, you are going to give them attention. That's what matters. Because you're really in it. Because you really love each other. That's whenever you know, because then you're going to want to give your attention. But also guess what? As relationships go on, you're both going to have these moments when you just want to do your own thing. And that's important in a relationship. You have to have the moments when you come together and be one, but you have to have the moments of being separate to be your own person. Like that's how it is. You got to have those boundaries. You got to have that in place if you want it to work and want it to last. You cannot be controlling. You cannot try to control the other person and manipulate them and be abusive to them. It takes care and love and control. It takes passion. You come together, you be one, you become one, but also you have to have moments to be your own person and live your own life and do the things you love and enjoy. So don't let anyone else hold you back. And if anyone else has come across like a contract or something, or if you ever do, leave her. Leave that bitch or leave that dick. Whichever way. It can go either way. Just do it because honestly, it's not going to be worth your time. But anyways, guys, that's going to wrap it up for this one. I know this one is a long video, but I had a lot to say on that. I talked for every single point because I just had something to say for pretty much everything. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, be sure to click that like button, click that subscribe button, click that notification bell, all that good stuff. Stay up to date. Grab that link physically like a baseball bat and beat your friends over the head with it. Throw your phones at their faces or whatever. Share the heck out of the video. Let's grow this community. And I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks so much for watching.